I cleared my throat again. It suddenly felt very dry. Slappy and I are going to tell some knock-knock jokes, I announced. I turned to face Slappy and made him turn his head to me. Knock-knock, I said.
Knock it off!
Came the harsh reply. Slappy spun around to face my mom.
Hey, don't break the sofa, fatso.
He rasped.
Why don't you skip the french fries and have a salad once in a while?
Huh? Mom gasped in shock. Amy, that's not funny, Dad cried angrily.
What's your problem, Baldy?
Slappy shouted.
Is that your head? Or are you hatching an ostrich egg on your neck?
That's enough, Amy, Dad cried, jumping to his feet. Stop it, right now. But Dad, I sputtered.
Why don't you put an extra hole in your head and use it for a bowling ball?
Slappy screamed at Dad. Your jokes are horrible, Mom exclaimed. They're hurtful and insulting. It's not funny, Amy, Dad fumed. It's not funny to hurt people's feelings. But Dad, I replied. I didn't say any of that. It wasn't me. It was Slappy. Really. I wasn't saying it. I wasn't. Slappy raised his head. His red-lipped grin appeared to spread. His blue eyes sparkled.
Did I mention you are all ugly?
He asked. You went straight Yoda.
You can't scare me. Not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient dummy. Calling all creep.
Dudes, welcome to another installment, perhaps number 31.
Halfway there. Whoa.
Of
Living
Calling
on a prayer.
All creeps. It's me, Richie Sambora, and I'm here with John Bon Jovi.
My
as
name
always.
is Bon John Jove, and
Bon
I'm
John.
here to rock your fucking denim vests off.
There he is. It's Ron John. And if you need any
Spray
surf
my
gear,
hair.
spray his hair, spray his body with wax. Rip off the wax. Look at his smooth chest. Adore it.
I used to work on the docks.
Yep.
I'm down on my luck.
Yep. You're like Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He works on that roof without a shirt. Gets a suntan. He looks great.
It looks good. Yeah, we're from New Jersey, and we're failing at these references.
Yeah.
But we're halfway there.
Yeah. We're truly halfway there.
We're truly halfway there. This is book 31 of 62 original Goosebumps young adult novels written by R.L. Stein.
If you've listened from episode 1 now
Phantom
to episode
Menace.
31. Yes, right.
Attack of the Menace.
Attack of the Menace. Solo, Wookiee. Right now we have Return of the Jedi on mute in the background. It's on TNT. Turner Network titties.
I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's it. Yeah, if you listen from 1 to 31, God bless you. Thank you for listening.
I actually listened to the first episode of, the first dummy episode of the two. Why I don't know why I worded it that way, but it's a big change. Especially listening to the original episodes, we were much more earnest.
Yeah, way more timid.
Not even timid. We had a mission statement, and we really leaned into the literature aspect and structure.
Yeah. Now we both just sort of list off references and then wander back to the plot once in a while.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed that we've done more and more is we would describe the plot. Let's say, so Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of farts from a goblin.
Sure.
And at the end, they all died from the farts in the end. And we'd be like, no, just kidding. It was a pail of water. And
Yeah. Like we mock the false
not even
endings and stuff.
we just make up our own parts.
Oh, we do.
But
yeah.
sometimes we move on. And I'm realizing
Yeah, we just leave that in there without...
we just leave it in there.
Yeah.
That's some things we've adopted, which is fun.
You got to pick out what's real and what's not.
Just like in these books.
Yeah.
Are the dummies alive? Were we the dummies the whole time?
I mean, I think that's the lesson.
Turn the mirror on us. Mm-hmm. Wow, RL.
Holy shit. Well, I guess that's it.
We both just quieted and looked at a Weight Watchers commercial at the same time for no other reason than we couldn't look into each other's eyes any longer.
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to fall in love again.
But this is a shout out to Marcella, who lost 16 pounds.
Georgia lost 122 pounds, so
She looks great.
I mean, she does look great.
She looks great.
So anyway,
You
this
had
is
an F to that logo, and I'd be ready. Just as WW, but
well, it's WWE now, unless you like the World Wildlife Foundation.
hey, gotta save them animals.
That's right. We all know what's happening in Australia.
It's messed up.
It is fucked up. There's like 500 billion animals died or some crazy shit like that. I don't think it was that. I think it was 500 million. That's a lot.
That's still so many.
yeah.
And these are like real animals, not like ants.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like those bullshit. And dude, like we
Yeah,
lost
not
30
ants.
mosquitoes
Yeah.
hives, which is like 1 billion. I'd be like, fuck
Fuck
mosquitoes.
mosquitoes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I think I've mentioned on this podcast before we have the technology to basically wipe them out.
Do we?
Yeah, we can like alter a gene in one so that after 7 days, it's like the Ring or the Sponge. After, what's wrong?
There's just some dude in like,
Walking around my house?
yeah, he's got like small wireframe glasses.
Hmm.
He looks like he like listens to Eminem, and he's wearing like he looks like he's a roofer who listens to Eminem, and that's why he has those glasses.
But you could see him. He wasn't small, right? He didn't look like he was made of wood.
No, he was tall.
Okay.
He was a person,
He was not a dummy.
not a dummy. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that's fine then.
It would be very fitting if we got murdered in episode 31.
Sure. I mean, not have to do this anymore?
Be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Which people have reached out to us, asking. A couple people have asked if we're actually going to finish this podcast after 62.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Undecided.
undecided. I mean, it'd be nice to not have to read a children's book every
It
other
sure
week.
would. It's not even that it's hard. It's just that we don't want to do it.
It's very time consuming.
It sucks.
Like I read this book between yesterday and today because I had food
Yeah.
poisoning, and
Yeah.
it takes time.
Yeah. Did you eat a sandwich you found inside of a dummy's head?
That was a weird part of this book. Someone lost a sandwich. I hope somebody was reading this book within the fiction
Yeah.
as like a report or something and was just like, fuck, that's really my sandwich.
I do want to say, for as much as we begrudge the books and doing this, when I read this book, I realized I kind of had a thought like I returned to when we started the podcast. So it's like we both truly love Goosebumps.
Yes.
I do really like this. And I do think, not to give any final thoughts on this bad boy, but I think it was largely good. Like,
Yeah.
I was engrossed with some of it.
I'm going to say that this one really restored my faith
Yeah.
because we had a few stinkers.
Yeah.
As always. And we like to make fun.
Sure.
So that also has something to do with like the overall, I don't know, like remembrance of all the books that we've gone through.
Yeah. I feel like we're also approaching a point like the 30s and 40s I seem to like remember the most. I guess cuz I was a little bit older, so I'm closer to those memories. Not
Yeah.
by much, but I
And
just
they were new releases too.
yeah, I remember getting excited about specific ones like Egg Monsters from Mars and that kind of shit.
And we weren't reading these in 94. Were you reading them in 94?
Yeah, I was reading them as they came out.
Oh, okay. As a year younger, I took me a little bit to get in.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, in the year, we're going to do our time and place as we do. This is the Calling All Craves podcast. We read the Goosebumps books so you don't have to.
That's right.
And let's take you back to when this book was released in May of
A
1995.
beautiful spring. It was the first war in Iraq. I remember probably Black Hawk Down around this time.
You said this about the past 3 books.
No, I don't think so. I think this was this time. And, of course, Semisonic, almost release closing time, probably a year from now. Let's see what else. Chumbawamba, a couple of years from now. In 95, who knows? Pearl Jam, probably.
The Gulf War, are you discussing?
Yes, the Gulf
It
War.
was 1990 to 1991.
I knew it. That's what I thought.
This is what I'm talking about. We actually do research so much, but we spread so much misinformation.
No.
Semisonics released the album Feeling Strangely Fine with closing time on it in 1998. You're 3 years.
Well, it's never too early to start planning one of the greatest songs of all time.
Okay, so let's do some facts.
Okay.
Cold hard facts.
Lay it on me.
May of 1995, top song was still Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It.
God.
Which, as we stated in the last episode, you could sing anything.
Jedi is on mute now. Dave has cutie eyes.
Maybe not everything.
That didn't really work.
There's a stack of towels.
Yeah.
And then you got another?
No, you go ahead. I was gonna say the J word, Dave, which is not allowed on this podcast.
And by the way, just hats off to you, Matt, for editing out all the J words as we've discussed. If there are new listeners, which is doubtful, it is No Nut 2020. We've been told we used too many words for male excrement, sexual excrement on a children's podcast, so we've been bleeping out just those words.
I thank you for that compliment, Dave. I do want to say, if you listen to last week's episode,
Yeah.
I did miss one.
Did you?
Around the 10-minute mark or something. There were so many. We said it from the basement so much. I missed one. Look.
It came from beneath the sink.
Sorry. From beneath the sink.
Wait. Don't go in the basement.
Don't go in the
They're
basement.
all rolling together now.
It's a lot of cautionary tales about not visiting certain parts of your home.
RL, stop telling me what to do.
Yeah, I paid for this house. Anyway, look. Is that a Coca-Cola?
I think so.
Jabba the Hutt drinks Coca-Cola.
This is my favorite
It's
R2.
canon.
I call him Bar2D2 when he's just serving drinks.
Serving
and
up some drinks.
3PO walks up to him and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Dude, I have a fucking job. I'll get you on my 15."
That's right.
It's great.
He's a spicy meatball.
He sure is. So the movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay.
Top movie that month,
Sure.
which is Die Hard 3.
Die Hard 3.
All right. And you have nothing to say about Die Hard?
I mean, I like Die Hard 1. I also like, shout out listener, maybe listener, hopefully listener, Adam
Bruce
Maffei.
Willis.
Oh. We said the same name at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Adam showed me Live Free or Die Hard.
Yes, which is the craziest of all of them, I believe.
Yeah, and it is bad, but it's also good.
I've watched every single Die Hard. Friends of mine, we did something called Chai Hard, which was Chinese food and Die Hard movies. I believe you were there for some.
I
every
was
Valentine's
there
Day.
We did one with Terminator.
Well, we ran out of Die Hard movies at one point.
Okay.
And then we moved on to... Oh, wait, no. We did Lethal Weapon after a while.
Okay. I remember us all getting together, eating Chinese food and watching Terminator. Maybe
It may
that's
have
just
been
something
a
we
different
did.
thing. I remember I really wanted to watch T2 at one point.
That
Maybe
was
that
what we
was
watched.
it.
Yeah.
But I remember that one time we made sugar cookies, but instead of putting water in it, I remember I was very intoxicated and I refused to put rain into our cookies. I was like, I'm not putting rain in these cookies. So we put Jack Daniels.
Yeah. They were good.
They were good. They had a little kick to them.
It was fine.
It was spicy.
Yeah, you can do that. Hey, any cooks out there, bakers, listen up. Use a spirit. I mean, that's what they did in the old days. You couldn't drink the water. It might be poison.
If the spirit compels you.
Then fucking be compelled.
On May 27th, Christopher Reeve fell from a horse in a riding competition and became paralyzed. Turns out the only kryptonite is horses. On the same day, Lisa Kudrow got married to a French advertising executive, Michelle Stern. I'm still married.
Oh, very good. Michelle is a man's name in this case?
Yeah, a French man, so
French.
you know them.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Shout out any French listeners. Hope this doesn't bother you.
Unshout out to anybody who likes Friends. P.U.
Hey, I like Friends.
That's why you suck, you idiot. That was like a Slappy insult.
Yeah, that's true. It is a slappy
So
insult.
let's go into things about this book.
Okay.
The history of the character Slappy and this franchise in the Goosebumps lore was delved into on our previous episode for the first book. So if you want to learn how the character was stated to be pulled from the Adventures of Pinocchio, not the Disney, but the Weird Tales that R.L. Stein wrote, and then also a horror movie. One thing that I didn't mention then is obviously this title is a play on Night of the Living Dead, which weirdly, we had so much else to go on about how he at no point has referenced or given any sort of credentials to Child's Play.
Yep.
Even though all three of the original movies came out right before the first book.
And it's it really echoes those movies. Like when I read this book, I kind of think of Child's Play. That's the closest analog.
It really is. And but the TV show, of course, which this is the first dummy TV show we get, which was confusing because most people, including myself, when we went to read the past book, I was expecting the plot of Night of the Living Dummy 2 when I read the first one. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, of course, they skipped over that first one, and 2 was the dummy episode.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because this book, too, like, Slappy is such a big character, and they make a lot of references to Friday the 13th, believe it or not, when it comes to this book. And I don't think this is an RL direct, but I think kind of the pop culture and other people working Goosebumps around the corner. So in Goosebumps the game, Slappy will kill you if you say that he was the main villain in Night of the Living Dummy. He gets angry at you and says Mr. Wood was the villain and kills you. And this is also this is kind of like a parallel to the scene in Scream, which actually came out later than this book. But of course the video game came out after that, where a man calls Casey in the iconic first scene, Drew Barrymore, and says, let's play a game. Who was the killer in the first Friday the 13th?
The mom?
Yeah, Pamela Voorhees. And Casey mistakenly says Jason, and he kills her. But yeah, interesting that they pulled that through.
Yeah.
Because Slappy, who is known to be the icon of Goosebumps, with over 30 books starring him, or at least having him appear in it, and he is not the bad guy in the first book.
Yeah, I forgot that reading this because I was like, how did Slappy come back from being like steamrolled or whatever?
So I forgot that too. So I re-listened to our episode, which
Yeah.
of course you can if you scroll back through our library there.
And it was Mr. Wood who got steamrolled.
So it was Mr. Wood. So through the whole beginning, Mr. Wood, or maybe it was Slappy. Lindy was pretending that Mr. Wood was alive and attacking Slappy. And then it turned out they found the, as you called it, the Keroppi Madonna.
Sure.
Which is like the Barack Obama. Yeah, their Necronomicon. And they brought Mr. Wood to life. And then they killed him. And at the end of the book, much like in Friday the 13th, where they're like, we're finally safe. I'm floating in a canoe. And then the real Jason, little angry drowned baby, jumps up and gets her. In the same way, he's just like, oh, thank God you're back. Now you're my slaves because the other guy's gone.
Right.
So we never learn what happened to Chris and Lindy from book 1. The speculation is that either they found a way to escape Slappy and put him into a pawn shop in this one?
Yeah.
Or he kills them, leads to their death, and then finds a way to be passed on and picked up to this pawn shop where he could be passed on to a new family. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then on top of that, in the new reprints, they have taken out the reference for battle chess.
Okay.
Which was apparently in your book.
Battle chess. I don't remember.
I don't know what battle chess was. I know it wasn't in my book. Also, when they say on the radio said it's going to be hot. They switched to the weatherman said it's going to be hot in the new ones.
Okay.
Because nobody listens to the radio.
I did notice that in this book, and I thought it was antiquated a little bit.
So that was updated pretty quickly.
I do remember. So Amy is the protagonist of this book. Her brother asks if they could do one round of battle chess. I do remember that.
In this, they kind of allude to a video game without really saying what it is.
Yeah.
What's battle chess?
I don't know. Fucking battleship plus chess.
I played Battle Pong for the Sega Genesis 2 nights ago. Sick.
Good?
It's Pong, but there's like power-ups in between, and it just makes it wild and wacky. It's a good time.
That's cool.
Look up Battle Pong.
Okay.
It's fun.
Pornhub search Battle Pong. See what happens.
Battle Dong is more like it.
That's right.
So we want to get into that plot?
Sure, Battle Thong. Let's do it.
Matt, I want you to pick up from Family Sharing Night, which is open mic night for Dad.
Okay, open mic night with the fucking Sanderses. What's their last name? Kramer.
I think you just said it because
Because I have hey, I'm not stating my political
Your
affiliation. I'm not stating my pickle. Not on this
right.
podcast. No, I have a Bernie Sanders sticker. I don't know how I got it. Maybe I donated to the campaign. Maybe you should too. I don't know. Who knows?
I didn't get a sticker for my donation, and I'm still proud of it.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's nice
It's
that
nice
he
you do
considers
that.
me a friend.
If you guys donate to our Patreon, we'll get you a sticker.
That's right. Because search for our Patreon.
You're not gonna find it.
You're not gonna find it. Yeah, Amy Kramer is the name, and fucking being a ventriloquist is her game. And she has a sister named Sarah, a brother named Jed, because this is the Confederate South.
Of course.
Jed.
Well, they were once they had that baby boy, they were like, we need to make sure he works in a gas station, so let's name him Jed.
Jed Kramer. So they do family sharing night. Dave, as you said, that's quite like an open mic night amongst the family.
They shit on it,
They do. They are not supportive.
but I think it's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
I like
it's
it.
embarrassing.
Yeah. But like looking back on it now, how do you keep your family together now in the days of Fortnite and
Oh,
the
my
internet?
God.
And Fortnite on the internet.
Have you heard of this Twitter? It's
Nope.
crazy. It's tearing people apart.
Speaking of Twitter, if you haven't noticed yet, we don't use ours.
We should just delete it, basically.
Nah. Let's just keep it there for posterity.
Okay. Little time capsules.
Yeah.
So the Kramers are hamming it up on family game night. Sarah's delivering beautiful paintings. They're much like the canon of Van Gogh. They're just beautiful, abstract, heavy brush stroke masterpieces. Jed shows up and he, I don't know, takes his little wiener out, shakes it around. And then Amy's got nothing to deliver. Well, the one thing she does have is that she's a ventriloquist, sort of.
Yeah.
And she has her own dummy named Dennis, the dummy. Great alliteration. And better than Mr. Wood.
Better than Mr. Wood.
Better
I like
name.
shout out to somebody who will never listen to this. We can call him Dennis Dummigan. That's a shout out to people who know that.
Great voice on that guy.
Great everything on that guy. Real sturdy, handsome boy.
Yeah, he's a sturdy boy.
He's strong.
Yep. Wears a lot of golf shirts.
Sure does.
Oh, boy. What's not to like?
He's a hole-in-one if you tell me.
Oh, baby. Well, here's the thing about the dummy that Amy brings to the table. Its head falls off every time she tries to do a comedy routine with it. It's ridiculous. So, you know,
Jed thinks it's funny.
Jed thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, but Jed also thinks that certain people should use different
bathrooms.
bathrooms. And,
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to. Jed's name is very Confederate South.
It's pretty like mid 19th century.
But I won't
Confederate.
hold the sins of the past for this funny boy.
No.
He's a funny boy.
Yep. He's he's his own person. He can make his own decisions. Maybe he'll be a stand-up guy. I don't know.
He's a stand-up comedian because he does some real good jokes.
Oh my God, he cracks a joke or two. And here's one. He goes up to Sarah's room with Sarah, and when Sarah wants to present her painting, they see there's a smiley face in the corner of the painting, and Jed's like giggling, and he's like, I did that.
Obviously.
He immediately claims ownership.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, your painting, it was like a cabin that they had once gone to in like in a night, and he said like, yeah, this shit was dreary as fuck. I put a smiley face in it. You're welcome.
Yeah. Smug 8-year-old.
He's good.
He's good.
He actually, it's crazy. He's so funny because he actually grows up to be the Kramer from Seinfeld. He just cuts the Jed out of his name.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he lives up to the Jed by his problematic stand-up act. He does as a man. Whoosh! Whoosh! He literally, yeah, every time they're like, the dad loves his open mic nights. And he's like, here's Wonderwall. And he's like, ding, 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 ding. Like mom, like competitively eats a Wendy's sandwich, and then Jed walks in, and he's just like, this is how long I can fart all at once. And he goes like, and the dad just looks at everybody and goes, what a spectacular family. And this is, I know originally I said some of the stuff we say isn't in the book. That's pretty much
in
canon.
the book for sure.
It is.
I just want to say this episode is sponsored by Kit Kat Duos, mint and dark chocolate. Try yours now.
Now we're on Dagobah.
Dagobah system.
If you want to follow us along.
This is where Yoda says, when 900 years old you be, you have a bad back or some shit like that.
Also, if you listen to the beginning, Matt's... we need to keep canon that Matt is the voice of Slappy on this podcast.
Yes, he speaks through me.
Yes, but this time there was a little Yoda influence.
No. That's what Slappy sounds like.
So, Jed gets grounded.
Jed's grounded. He fucked up big time. He drew the smiley face. We know it.
He's proud of it.
He's proud of it. And family game night is ruined for that week. I thought it was in perpetuity. I thought it was in perpetuity. It's not. It's just that night. And then Jed tries to scare Amy with Dennis's head.
That part's very funny.
Yeah, it's a good gag. And then, because Dennis is in pieces all the time, fucking Amy's like, Dad, why won't you get me a new dummy? And he says, like, oh, it's not in the budget right now because, like, we got to buy Jed all these diapers all the time.
and dummies these days.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And our diaper budget is frankly through the roof.
Because to make a dummy back then, you had to find, like, I don't know,
a
young creepy child and leave them in the sun for years after they die.
You had to suck his soul out of his butt and then leave him in the sun to dry like a tomato.
Yep. So the biggest thing is that there's a friend who is described as weirdly sexy.
Yeah, she's like a weird French bohemian.
Yeah, she's like this weird. I don't know. It sounds like a TV, like a over the phone sex commercial.
Yeah.
We're like, what are you like?
Yeah.
And then RLS gives you the description, and at first I was just like, this is a weird way to describe a little girl.
And that she's named Margot is strange.
Her name is Margot. Shout out to Big Trouble in Little China. That's a character.
And Royal Tenenbaums. Hey.
So this isn't my weird. I just put it in bad. There wasn't much bad for this book, but like, this is weird. Okay, so Margot came over the next morning. Margot was real tiny, sort of like a mini person. She has a tiny face and is very pretty, with bright blue eyes and delicate features. Her blonde hair is very light and very fine. She let it grow this year. It's just about down to her tiny little waist. She's nearly a foot shorter than me, even though we both turned 12 in February. She's very smart and very popular, but the boys like to make fun of her soft, whispery voice.
I don't like that at all.
I think the tiny little waist.
The tiny little waist is the worst part.
The tiny little waist hurts. Very pretty with bright blue eyes and her very fine hair.
Yeah.
It's just the description. Because, like, then we get, like, Andy from Monster Blood. And it's like, Andy's clothes are nuts. She has her hair pulled back and likes to fight. Like, and then this is just like, her delicate hands stroked her tiny waist.
Her supple lips.
Yeah. I'm just like, RLS, when you're describing, this one's weird.
Not
and her dad owns this place called, like, the Party House.
Yeah,
and
but
she's
it's like
he's making me work the Party House again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck
I don't like
this?
it. It's a weird child labor party house.
It's strange. But speaking of which, the Party House has some little kids coming through.
Yeah.
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds.
And who's going to entertain them? And Mr. Margot said, Daddy Margot was like, doesn't your friend do that fucking dummy shit?
Yeah.
And Margot's just like, yes, Papa. And it's like, get that dummy shit here. I'll give her like $3.50 and fucking all the meatballs she can fucking eat. And she's like, yes, Papa. And so they ask, and she's able to do it. So she's like, but you know what? I can't do it because my dummy's dang head keeps falling off. And Margot's like, yeah, that would. The kids would think that their heads would fall off.
Yep.
3-year-olds are dumb, so.
That's right.
Which is literally what's in the book.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, you can't have your dummy's head fall off. Then 3-year-olds will think their heads can possibly fall off.
They'll be traumatized for life.
Yeah, they're going to be like, these kids are going to see your dummy act and realize that they are but flesh.
That's right.
And that the Reaper can come for them.
They will, nab their souls at any moment.
So, lo and behold, Dad comes home, and he's just like, guess what, sluts? Look what I found. And she's like, is that a dummy? She's like, you bet your fucking ass it is. And they just pop open a brandy new dummy they found at the pawn shop.
That's right. And when Amy puts her hand on the dummy, she retracts it immediately, and she says, oh, I can feel his brains. Because Amy's, Dave, you can verify, incredibly stupid.
I mean, on the scale of dumb in Goosebumps books for main characters, she's not at the bottom.
No, she's not at the bottom. But that was I mean,
but
it's not his brain.
Yeah. I think we broke Matt. I think a hard reset.
Yeah,
your graphics card went.
I'm just trying to come to grips with all this.
Smartest member of the family? Jed.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
Who has the best report card? I think it's
Sarah.
Sarah, yeah.
Sarah's pretty smart.
She's going to go to Pratt sometime in the near future.
For arting.
Her
art is actually won a contest and is going to be featured in some sort of museum or something.
That's right.
Humble brag. That's why we left it out. We get it, RLS. You know art.
Yeah, come on. More like art LS. Right? Okay.
R.L. Lichtenstein.
There he is. So what are we talking about? Oh yeah, the sandwich in the head. Yeah. It's not a brain, it's an old sandwich. Now you might ask, how did that sandwich get there? We don't know.
This is like a prank RL just pulled on us.
Yeah. It's an old brown moldy sandwich with worms in it. Worms love sandwiches.
Schrodinger's sandwich.
That's right. We all know how much fucking bugs love old food. And if you put it in a dummy's head, it's a bad spot because you can forget about it. And then bugs eat it. And then you buy the dummy and it smells like garbage. And you wonder why it smells like the bottom of the trash can. And it's because you got your sandwich in there. Take out the sandwich.
This isn't a Tupperware, it's a dummy.
It's not a Tupperware, Dave, exactly. It's not a Ziploc, it's a fucking Slappy. So you take the sandwich out.
Weird thing, too. How did he know his name was Slappy?
The guy at the shop called it Slappy.
Which is crazy because I think Lindy coins the term Slappy. Do you remember why?
Right. Because he slaps everybody.
Because it's like, what's his name? Why is his name Slappy? Her twin sister says, and he's like, because I'm gonna slap you on the side of the head.
That's right. That's what he does best. So you should be named it. Like I should be named Captain Jerkoff. Because I love to bust a nut.
Oh no.
But alas,
oh wait, we can say that.
That's not the way things work.
Because we call it No Nut 2020.
That's right. Yeah, nut is fine. Because what am I going to not talk about, like peanuts and tree nuts?
Especially, as we say, with allergies, you need to be very upfront and about that.
Nobody murder me.
I work at a school. You can't even say the word nut there.
No, that's right.
And I also can't say the other words that we bleep out here, which I will not say because I'm going to be respectful of Matt and his time editing.
Thank you.
So they give Slappy a rub down.
They sure do.
They get him a nice washcloth.
Well, they don't disinfect him right away. They're like, they wait a little bit and then they spray his little head. Here's what they do right away. Read the magic curse words.
She thinks it's a gift receipt, which if I ever sell a dummy in my life, no returns. All sales are final.
Yeah. I also don't mean like curse words like fuck or shit.
Or piss.
Yeah, I was going to say piss. Yes, exactly.
Piss is still a curse word, guys. I know
Piss-
that you're so jaded. 'cause
It's a
you
Bart
live in
Simpson curse.
current America.
Yeah.
Cowabunga.
Sorry. Cook, right? What else? How can we pander to millennials? Ass, dead ass, fucking eating, licking a cornhole. What else?
Cornhole.
Teens love saying cornhole.
Really?
No.
Cornhole is just a game you play at the beach. By the way, love me some cornhole. Was it your 30th birthday?
Yeah.
That Carl and I just ripped some ass playing cornhole?
You guys did rip ass playing cornhole.
I don't know why I picked rip ass. That's a term for farting. All I want to say is we were pretty good at it.
You were very good at it. You were undefeated.
Undefeated.
Man, that was a good place too. I like that pizza.
Should go back there.
Well, let's.
Okay.
Okay. So, they disinfect the head. They read the. So by curse words, I mean the words that summon the curse. It's a real you must not read from the book moment, as I've probably said in the first dummy episode.
You did.
It happens again. That's literally the first thing she does, and the dummy like licks its lips and like does a little kiss motion. Yeah,
Squeezes its boobs together and does duck face.
yeah. It like fucking itches its ear and stuff.
Starts taking selfies.
Yeah, it does.
Figures out what Disney character it is on Instagram.
Yeah, right. It does the fucking Instagram test. Which whatever are you?
Throw some lewds of it as a sexy anime girl.
Yep.
Cosplay.
Cosplayed. Fucking farts. It
That's
starts farting.
That's an old classic of ours. So, and then they're doing dinner and shit. She practices on the dummy and gets scared by Jed, who is fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. Because by the way, I don't know if we mentioned that Dennis wears a turtleneck.
Yeah.
Jed had a turtleneck like it, and he took the broken off head and made it look like Dennis was popping up from behind the couch.
Yeah.
And then his head fell off, and they were like, oh my God, it's real. And then his head pops up from below, and he's like, blah! Which is very funny.
It's cute.
That's very funny.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
The physical humor from this boy,
He's Robin Williams.
I'd say.
Well, Amy, here's the thing, though. Amy loves spaghetti. So...
There is a whole scene about spaghetti, isn't there?
Yeah. She makes a point of saying how much she fucking loves spaghetti. And Jed interrupts this process. So not only is she scared, but now her spaghetti dinner is ruined. So she's very upset. Then they have family game night or family talent night a lot again. What's up?
Real quick, I want to dress up like Lando in this scene.
He's wearing a cape.
It's baby blue. He's got baby blue pants that match.
Yep.
Okay, we can keep going.
And shoulder pads.
Hells yeah.
So it's family sharing night again. And Dad loves Bob Dylan.
Yes, he does.
He don't want to work on Maggie's farm no more. There's so much RL in this book. It's like Margot loves the Beatles for some I can't.
And Amy loves Bob Marley.
Yes, Amy loves Bob Marley. Like, God forbid. Like, I think that's fine, and it's feasible that like a young person would like classic rock. But like, let's fucking chill. Every book has like a child who loves classic rock in it. Let's relax. Why
That's all
can't
he
we
knows.
say like
Spice Girls.
yeah?
I think it's too early for Spice Girls.
Yeah, but whatever. Like, I don't know. But Montel Williams, Jordan.
Yeah. Montel Williams.
Which one is the
Montel Jordan.
Montel Jordan.
She listened to VHS recordings of Montel Williams. If he was even recording.
Was
them.
he doing? I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm not up on my daytime TV.
Hey, if you know the Montel Williams timeline, shout out. Comment below in Instagram. So, it's time for her to use Slappy. Now that she has a nice new dummy, she can do a beautiful show.
She's been working her ass off,
Yeah.
practicing good jokes.
Good jokes from a joke book. She's ready to go. Here's the thing. Doesn't go so well.
Yeah.
Slappy has a mind of his own. Says some terrible shit.
Also, as we learn in the beginning of this chapter, Mom's chair is that like she works at a department store and there was this overweight lady who showed up and asked to try on tiny clothes and broke all of them and ripped them all up because she wanted petite sizes, but she was a big lady. Yeah. And then they were like, "Are these for you?" When she bought them all, and she says, "No, they're for like my sister who's much younger than I am."
Right.
And she's like, "Isn't that crazy that this big lady, this like fat person did this?" And meanwhile, Amy's just kind of like, that was very surprising because mom is like a little overweight.
Yeah.
And she's very self-conscious about it. So that was a weird thing for her to share.
Yep.
And I was like calling the kettle black.
It was a double. We know RL has a thing against people who are overweight.
Like a great big fat person. I'm trying to do my...
That's your Buffalo Bill?
Was she a great big fat person? Is that better?
That was good.
Is that better? I love that
that.
movie.
That was great.
Put the lotion in the fucking basket.
Wow.
How's
okay. We have a good archive of impressions.
We do.
Yoda, Buffalo Bill, Gollum,
Pikachu.
It's great.
Good.
Wow.
I keep bumping my hat on the microphone.
Hey,
you
you're fine.
You guys are gonna hear it.
At our $100 Patreon tier, you can hear all these. We'll do your voicemail box in one of these impressions. So,
Nice.
And you'll get $25 off your first Blue Apron order.
I also do David Lynch.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Go.
You wanna hear it? The dummy. He says fuck. It's quite interesting. How was that?
It's good. I like it a lot.
Do you know that on Netflix right now there's like a David Lynch show that he made, and it's like him sitting in a room in black and white talking to like a gibbon monkey that is also played by him. That's like CG.
Oh my
And he's just
God.
like, "I see you, the monkey." And the monkey's just like, "I am David Lynch as a monkey."
Are you serious?
Yeah, pretty much. It's on there. Netflix, like Netflix every now and then is just so excited. It's just like, "Dave, yes, this recommended for you. We fucking have it. This is what you want."
Trending now.
But I was like, "Yeah, you got me. That's what I want to watch."
Yeah.
It's only 17 minutes. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. We got 17 minutes after this.
Yeah, well, we could watch that.
We can watch that. So the Slappy is just like, "Hey, mom, great belly you got on you." And then dad, who's also really self-conscious about his bald head, says like, "What is that? The tip of my dick or your head, dad?"
Yeah, right.
And then he's like, "Also, did you sing Bob Dylan or did you step on some sort of bohemian villager from the Soho, you idiot?"
Nailed it. Yeah, definitely
Folk
got his
music,
ass.
more like fuck music.
Yeah, more
Idiot.
like fart music.
Yeah.
You dumbass.
So she gets in trouble, and she's like, "It wasn't me. It was a dummy."
She's grounded forever. She can't do the child labor party. So Margot, is upset. She's upset. But guess what? She can do the child labor party.
She can.
Turns out it's fine. Her mom gives it the okay. So that's what's next, right? They go to the child labor party.
Well, isn't there was a
Other report card.
she practices, she learns jokes. Slappy calls the mom fat.
Oh, Slappy also trashes Sarah's room, writes Amy all over the walls.
First he goes in and he spills paint all over the floor.
That had me captivated.
Yes.
I was engrossed by that chapter. It was really fucked up. Yeah, just dumped paint all over the carpet. It sucked.
Just the white carpet and just like everything to the point where the parents needed to pull up the carpet completely.
Yeah. So, all of this is Slappy. Amy's obviously getting blamed for it. They seriously consider, and at one point do arrange her to go to a child psychologist.
Yes, for some emotional support.
Actually, a psychiatrist. So there's the potential
yeah.
for medication there. And that was believable, like the way that they handled it. Like that was part of what was engrossing to me. Was
Same.
Like, I seriously felt like the parents thought she was spiraling and had like a condition.
But also that's cool too. The transition from the parents being mad at their daughter who's acting out to concerned. Because let's just go down. Slappy does a couple bad things in the house and around. So like, first, calls mom fat. You're in trouble. Second, paint spilled all over the room. bad, you're in trouble. Keep saying it's Slappy. They're like, they're a little concerned. Goes to the child labor laws, and she's talking to 3-year-olds, which you guys know. You know 3-year-olds, right? You have a niece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dummies. Not for 3-year-olds.
No, not my niece's top choice.
And also, like, she's like, they're gonna love these pun jokes.
Yeah, it's like not. It doesn't make any sense.
Because 3-year-olds love wordplay.
Right.
And she like reaches out Slappy's hand to shake a 3-year-old whose like birthday it was, and Slappy just squeezes the kid's hand and they cry, and the parents freak out and they say they're gonna sue, but the pimp, Margot's dad, says like, don't worry, it fucking happens and shit. Just go home. It's cool. It wasn't your fault. The kid's hand probably got stuck.
Right. I mean, that's the most logical.
Yeah.
Like to explain it away, sure.
But she swore she saw his little wood hand wrapped around it and felt it squeezing.
Yeah, and also heard him laughing after he let go eventually.
Yes. So she ran home in the rain and was upset. Mom saw and was like, oh, fuck. Something's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and then, it was
Then
after
Amy's.
the child. Yeah, right. Then that's when Slappy writes Amy all over Sarah's walls.
In red paint.
And when Amy goes to her closet to try to prove to her parents that she did not do this, she opens the door and Slappy is holding a red paintbrush. And they're like, okay, so you like put the paintbrush in his hand. That doesn't really prove anything.
Yeah.
But then after they leave, like the dummy goes, he, he, he.
Yes.
So
creepy.
Telltale sign of demonic activity.
So going to the covers, we didn't do this originally. I think this is one of the most classic covers because stated in the last episode, I was too afraid to read these books because I had such a fear of child's play.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Just very bright colors, obviously like a 90s girl's room, bright pink bed, teddy bear, and just like this just gaunt dummy in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
Limbs hanging, super creepy.
Very.
I have the reprint, the most recent one, which I believe was printed for the movie. They started reprinting the dummy ones. And in this scene, it's Slappy coming out of the closet, and there's red paint all over his hands and the wall, and you see the paintbrush in the back. But if you cover that paintbrush, it just looks like he fucking murdered someone.
It does.
It's pretty good.
Your dummy looks a bit more like Jared Kushner.
Which makes him more frightening.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, who knows what clearance he has these days. The juxtaposition of green and pink is like striking, and the dummy looks fucked up. And then look at the stuffed animals behind. Look at the rabbit.
There's
looks
a
concerned.
rabbit and a bear. Yeah, the rabbit's afraid, and the bear has seen some shit.
The bear has PTSD. The rabbit is about to have PTSD.
We'll post just close up photos of the bear and the rabbit for you guys on Instagram. Yeah. So after the Amy, Amy's grounded and she refuses to leave her room. Parents are like, just confess and it'll be okay.
Yep.
We'll be okay. We're going to get you help, but just confess. You'll feel better. You can go play outside. This is where she's not in trouble, but at the same time, they're concerned.
Just as bad.
Yeah.
So Amy's like, fuck this shit. I'm going to catch this fucking dummy doing what he does. I'm going to stay awake for as long as it takes. I'm going to catch him in the act. So she stays awake to see what Slappy does, and he tries to ruin Sarah's painting. And Amy gets blamed for it again because the dummy gets out of the closet, goes to Sarah's room, but then like Amy stops him. But when Sarah turns on the light, it's just like Amy holding the dummy. So like she's
in the paintbrush.
So like it looks like she's up to some shit, you know. And the whole family comes in and they're like, "Okay, you're a psycho. We need to get you to see a doctor." So things are still not going her way. This is where shit hits the fan.
This is the creepy part.
Yeah. Where we actually see Slappy in action, right? And he starts talking and whatever. He comes out of the closet one night and he punches Amy in the head.
Well, he legit comes out and it was just like, all right, time to address some recent. Like, It's not even the coy, like, I'm coming awake in the night or a little laugh.
Yeah.
She locks him in the closet. He just opens it up and he's just like, hey, it's me, So you're my slave now.
Yeah, I think he says like it's time we had a little talk.
Yeah.
and he says you're my slave now, which is what we know Slappy fucking loves to say.
Yeah. And you're going to do the shit that I want to do, or else I will continue to ruin everything in your house until I start ruining the people you love.
Right. Yeah. Like you're gonna keep getting blamed for the shit, and eventually they're gonna send you away.
Yeah.
So Amy is not really having this, and locks him up in the closet or something.
Yeah.
So then eventually she liaisons with Sarah, and Sarah reveals that she knows actually that Slappy is alive because she saw him sneak in one night, but like kind of deluded herself into thinking she didn't see it and blamed Amy for it and whatever. But now she knows, like, okay, I am on your side. I know that he's real.
She was just too afraid to let it be real.
Yeah.
And also, this is where we learn that throughout the book, Amy is always jealous of Sarah because she makes these beautiful paintings and she gets great report cards. And we learn that Sarah's really jealous of Amy.
Yeah.
Because Sarah works so hard in these paintings and so hard for people to notice her and to work this good. But she says they just come so naturally to Amy. So
Yeah.
a really sweet sister moment.
Yeah.
But while they're having this sweet sister moment, she forgets that Slappy is in the closet trying to break the door down.
Yeah. So they eventually get Slappy right, and they try to like throw him in the sewer.
Yeah, well, they beat the shit out of Slappy, and
Yeah.
he punches her right in the fucking head, and they
Yeah.
like fight him. They tie his arms up and legs into
That's
knots.
right. Smart.
And at night, they go and throw him into a sewer down the street, and they think they're good, but he pulls the same stunt he did in the last book. He's sitting downstairs in the kitchen. Mom's like, "You're fucking dummies down here. We told you to put it away." She brings it back upstairs. Gets into a fight with it again, throws it, locks it in the closet. At one point, it knocks her the fuck out, too. Mm-hmm. Slappy punches her so hard in the head that she blacks out.
Yeah. But yeah, so Slappy reappears in the kitchen. Then it's like, what's up, slave? Like again, with this talk. And they hatch a plan to catch Slappy in the act.
Unbeknownst to us.
Unbeknownst
The
to us.
reader.
Yes. It's a plan with the whole family. So that's sort of what happens in that. Slappy comes out of the closet one night, goes into Sarah's room to do some shit, and then gets stopped by none other than Dennis. The original
No,
dummy.
it's Jed
It's Jed.
dressed up as Dennis.
That's right.
And the parents see it, and when Jed Dennis tackles Slappy, his head hits against the metal part of the bed. It cracks open, and like fart clouds come out, and a big evil worm
a
crawls
big
into
worm.
the wall.
Slappy's a worm this whole
Slappy's
time.
a worm the whole time,
Fucked up demon shit.
right?
And the worm goes like into the walls.
Yes.
So don't they still have a problem?
Maybe. I had a friend, shout out to Eric Dolan,
Yeah.
and friends that lived in the apartment after he left, where they never got evicted for any of the terrible things that we had done there and the parties and stuff. But the guy who moved into Eric's room bought a snake, and the snake got lost in the walls.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you know what? You guys are done. You could do everything, but once you lose a snake in the walls, you're out.
I think that's fair.
It's fair.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there was a palm reader shop below the apartment.
Right.
And how cool would it be if you're reading somebody's palm and you're like, bad luck's coming, and then a snake just falls out of the ceiling? That was my hopes.
Poor snake.
So that's the end. The family's great, and they're like, right, great job, Jed. You tackled them so good. And they're like, what? Where'd Jed go? They walk to Jed's bedroom, and he's like, shit, I forgot to wake up and put on my Dennis outfit.
That's right. So it was Dennis.
It was real Dennis, headless Dennis.
So it was a dummy fight. Pretty
Deadless
exciting.
Duncan.
It's cool.
Just like the last one, two dummies fighting.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well, that was our sort of half-hearted recount of the plot. What did you think was good in this book, Dave?
There was some good writing. It was a good book. It
Yeah.
was fun. I'm just going to go through the good writing because I don't really care about that because I have more important stuff to say.
Sure.
So, like, good writing, we know that RLS loves fragments,
Yeah, loves them.
and sometimes they are for no purpose whatsoever, but he really makes pacing work for him, especially near the end. My heart stopped. I ducked low, dropped back into the bathroom. Had he seen me? Had he turned around because he knew I was there? I shut my eyes, waited, listened. Listened for him to come scraping back. Listened for him to come around and come back to get me. Silence. I swallowed hard. My mouth felt so dry. My legs were trembling. I grabbed the tile wall to steady myself. Still silent out there. It's just like, especially for a part where it's pitch black, late at night, and sneaking, it kind of double backs on itself in ways that really makes the moment hang in the air.
Yeah.
Like this sentence. I gathered up my courage and slowly poked my head out into the hall. Good. I liked it. We got dry as cotton only once in this book, which
Not
is
bad.
fine. There was a good leaf description, but I just want to talk about my man Jed because he's funny.
Please do.
My 10-year-old brother is such a total goof. He doesn't care what he shares. One Thursday night, he burped really loud and explained that he was sharing his dinner. That's a good joke.
Oh.
That's a great joke. Jed scurried over to the rug and picked up Dennis's head. He pulled the string, making the dummy's mouth move. Amy reeks! Amy reeks! Jed made the dummy repeat over and over again. Give me that. I grabbed the head angrily from Jed's hands. Amy reeks! Amy reeks! Jed continued chanting. It's very good. Also, at one point, Amy gives Jed a wedgie that says it pulls his pants up to his chin. Wedgies were a thing in the 90s. I think they kind of disappeared after a little while. I think on page 35, the dummy's head popped out from behind the armchair. It's Dennis, I cried. I heard muffled laughter, Jed's muffled laughter. The dummy reached up both hands and pulled off his own head, and Jed's head popped up through the green turtleneck. He still had spaghetti sauce smeared on his cheeks. He was laughing hard. Everyone else started to laugh too. Everyone but me. And then one more Jed, just for everybody, because
Sure.
kid's a hero. I told you Slappy did it, I cried, stepping back so that others could get a good view. But everyone remained silent. Mom and Dad frowned and shook their heads. This is after they found the dummy with the paint. It says, Jed's giggles broke the silence. This is dumb, he told Sarah.
What a good
I just
guy.
love that. He's just like, this is stupid. Like, good guy. All right. That's what's good. Jed's good.
Jed's good. All right, cool. I thought there was a good hook, good opener. You could just turn to page 1 and it says, it's Amy speaking. This is a first-person narrative. She says, my name is Amy Kramer, and every Thursday night I feel a little dumb. I think that was more interesting than previous openers.
True.
Kind of wanted to see why.
Why you feel so dumb?
It was a good hook. Page 15, when she is talking about her sister, she said she kind of feels sorry for Sarah. But after Sarah says this, how could Jed do that? Sarah demanded, dipping her brush in the water jar. How could he sneak in here and totally destroy a work of art? I was feeling sorry for Sarah, but that remark made me lose all sympathy. I mean, why couldn't she just call it a watercolor painting? Why did she have to call it a work of art? Sometimes she is so stuck up and so in love with herself, it makes me sick. I thought that was kind of, I don't know, relatable and added to the complexity of the relationship between the sisters. Page 23, 24, there's a very creepy initial description of Slappy. But then right after that, Amy says, so there's this long description of how creepy he looks, and then Amy says, I love him. Which is kind of interesting. There's a lot of embarrassment descriptions in this book from Amy. There's a page where she says she wishes she would get seriously ill for sympathy. And, like her family wouldn't be mad at her if she was very sick.
Yeah.
And she saw it was raining hard outside, and she said she wanted to flow away with the rain. It's sort of relatable when you're younger and everything's very dramatic, and you just want to kind of sink into the floor. Page 81, 82. I guess it's sort of incumbent on me to read this. There's a nice description of the day outside. It says it was a beautiful spring day. Bright yellow tulips bobbed in the flower patch in front of my window. The sky was a solid blue. The twin maple trees in the center of the yard were starting to unfurl fresh leaves. Even just the word unfurl, I think, is worth noting there.
Good.
And this is my favorite part of the book. Page 89, when she sees Slappy walk for the first time. She says, peering into the light, I watched Slappy pull himself toward Sarah's room. The big shoes shuffled along the carpet. Slappy's body bobbed and bent. The big wooden hands nearly dragged along the floor. It's very, I mean, that's a horrifying description already. Maybe it wasn't this page. Oh, it was page 88. I'm sorry. It says, the heavy leather shoes slid over my carpet. The thin, boneless legs nearly collapsed with each shuffling step. Like a scarecrow, I thought, crippled with horror. He walks like a scarecrow because he has no bones. No bones at all. It was very funny. That's what I got for the good.
Nice.
What's your bad?
I just wrote the only music kids listen to in this are Bob Marley, the Beatles, and Bob Dylan.
Sure.
In the 90s, that's a little weird. Margot, is she a child escort? And Amy, you were so scared you nearly dropped your teeth. That was a very old reference.
Yeah, kids don't say that.
But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solid book.
Yeah. I the same. It was like the fact that Margot was obsessed with the Beatles, I thought was a little weird. And then on page 2, let me just read the section for you because I don't know. I want to focus on the word nice here. I don't know what it means. It says, the next Thursday night, my obnoxious brother shared a note that David Miller, a kid at my school, had written me. A very personal note. Jed found the note in my room and decided to share it with everyone. Nice? I wanted to die. I really did. Jed just thinks he's so cute and adorable. Like, I don't know why that nice question mark is there.
I don't know. That is...
It's very strange. And then on page 3, it says when Amy plays Bob Marley, her family holds their ears and complains till she shuts it off.
Yeah, that's insane.
Fucking stupid. That's it, though. That's all I got.
All right.
Spook and Scare, Best Dressed, alternate title.
Top scare for me
Yeah.
was we only get real passive Slappy. And then it's to the point where he opens up the closet door, just walks out to her while she's doing homework and just says, it's time you and I had a little talk.
Right.
I would have shit
pissed.
my bloomers.
Yeah. I would have pissed when he just started walking out and it like looks like he has no bones and he walks like a scarecrow.
Oh, yeah, it's spooky.
That's fucked up.
But also, how do you know what a scarecrow looks like when it walks?
That's true. What were you in number 17? Scarecrow Walks at Midnight?
Yeah, this guy knows his numbers.
That's
and
right.
with that, we do our best dressed.
Ah.
I'm just going to say it's Jed, because I'm sick of all this ginger discrimination.
Oh, mine's also Jed.
Jed just thinks he's so cute and adorable. He can get away with anything. He thinks he's really special. I think it's because he's the only redhead in the family. Sarah and I both have straight black hair, dark green eyes, and very tan skin. With his pale skin, freckled face, and curly red hair, Jed looks like he comes from another family. And sometimes Sarah and I both wish he did. Fuck you.
Yeah. On page 5, they talk about Jed. And it says... No. Oh, it's page... Yeah, it is page 5. Jed nodded. Yeah. He stood in the center of the room and shoved his hands into his jean pockets. He wears loose, baggy jeans about 10 sizes too big.
Yes.
You know what that is?
Jinkos!
Jinkos!
We get a lot of Jinkos and Lee pipes in these.
Alternate title.
Bad Wood.
Oh.
2.
Okay.
I don't know. I just made that up on the spot. I don't know. It's all you know. Your turn.
Splinter me, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a long one. Do we want to kill someone?
Okay.
I mean, let's see how many we have left. How many people need to die? Because we did ask you guys. Did we do These Dudes Are My Booze? A perfect and responsible way to introduce your kids to the best literature for kids. Hosted by two 6-year-olds. Calling All Creeps is informative, well-structured, and most of all, important. It changed my life by the Dude 313.
The Dude 313. I hinted that I know who that is last week. Maybe you remember episode number 11. Book number 11. The Haunted Mask. It is friend of the pod, Isaac Leggett.
Whoa!
Shout out, Isaac Leggett. Thank you for the review. He revealed to me he didn't even know what his username was. He made it in middle school or something. And when he left the review, there it was. Huge reveal. Wow. A real shocker.
Blew my mind.
Oh, my God. Do we want to kill Isaac?
Yeah,
Okay. You want me to go first?
of course. This is
Okay.
how things work here.
Well, that's great. Here's what we do with you, Isaac. Here's what I know about Isaac. He has a beautiful face. Mm-hmm. Yep. A beautiful mouth. Mm-hmm. Wonderful beard,
Oh, yeah.
usually. And he's tall. Yep. Also, he's nice. Wow. So here's what happens, Isaac. Well, I know recently you got a nice new house, which you haven't invited me to. Actually, you have. We just haven't made it happen yet.
That's on you.
That's on you, Isaac. I'm afraid.
No, I meant you.
That's on you, Isaac. As Dave just said, that's on you.
That's on you,
me.
Matt.
He just said that's on you, not on Matt. And hey, I don't make the rules. I'm just following what Dave says. So at your beautiful new house, here's what I do know. I remember one time I was at your parents' house, and your dad showed me these beautiful floors he was making for your home. Stop me if you've heard this one or I'm incorrect. You can't, because this is not live radio. So he was making beautiful floors for your home out of trees because your dad rocks. And
Sounds like his dad Woods.
hey, hey, Isaac, did your dad make any dummies with that wood? You better be careful, buddy. And here's the thing. What Isaac didn't know is when his dad installed those beautiful floors in his new home, which I haven't seen yet because Isaac didn't invite me, he embedded within them what else but a ventriloquist dummy made out of a haunted tree that occupied the backyard of Isaac's house that he grew up in. And I know for the fact, Isaac, that your house that you grew up in is haunted. So you're in your new house. You're with your wife, our friend, your wife, Caitlin. And if you want me to bleep that out, I'm sorry, it's too late. And
It's not like her name is
that's true. It is a normal person's name.
Sorry.
It is not Comlin. So, so you're walking through your house and you're going to make yourself a Elio's pizza. And you're walking through the kitchen, and that's where the floors are for, maybe. And I wouldn't know. You haven't invited me. So you're walking through there, and unbeknownst to you, that's where the dummy is hidden underneath the floorboards. And suddenly, you're about to put your Supreme Elio's pizza in the oven at 375 for 25 minutes. That's too long. 13 minutes. And a hand shoots up from the floorboards, and it grabs your ankle. And you're like, what the frick is this? And you kick it away. You kick the hand away, and you're successful. But then another hand pops up. And then another thing pops up. Maybe it's a foot. Maybe it's his wiener. You don't know, but it wraps around you either way, pulls you down into the floor, and then you get sucked into a pipe, and it goes into your septic tank, which maybe you have. and that's where you live until you drown on piss and shit. So, sorry about that. At least you died doing what you loved. Gargling piss and shit.
All right, this one is so Isaac, you're home alone at your new house. You're gonna make sure it's not haunted and take care of everything because you don't want your wife or your dear friend Matt to be in your house if it happens to be dangerous because you're so thoughtful. Why invite somebody?
He's made it clear he's not going to invite me.
Why be there? Because he cares for you. So he's like, why invite somebody? So first you check the attic because that's where all the real spooky boogums live. And you're like, any ghosts? No ghosts. And then you go into the basement because all the ghouls are in the basement. Okay, you got to stop with the bag here.
Murph loves
the bag. Murph, go play over there. So yeah, Murph's just going to time. So then you're like, okay, let me check the duct work. And you're like, okay, but the pizza's here. So you go, you get your pizza. You had a long night of work checking for ghosts. And you're like, you know what? Let me just block. I'll put a little curse and I'll get onions and all this stuff and I'll block up the duct work.
Hell yeah.
So that, if any ghosts are there, you can go trap them and get there the next morning. So it's like, all right, cool. But you don't wake up. You block the duct work.
Oh my God.
Carbon monoxide, the silent killer. I'm sorry, Isaac.
Oh, how sad.
It is, but then you get to be a ghost and you get to haunt this cool house with good floors from your dad.
That's cool.
You get to be a good ghost.
I like that.
And if I know anything, you'd be a Casper because you're a friendly guy. I bet you'd be a friendly ghost.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Isaac, if you ever want to do pottery with me, like in the movie Ghost, the romantic scene where Unchained Melody plays.
Would you, I feel like you would be like, how Casper had uncles in the CG live action movie?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the one whose whole deal was he just did farting?
Yeah, the Fatso?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah.
No, not Fatso. They were Stinky.
Oh, Stinky. Yeah, that makes sense.
You wouldn't be Fatso. You're quite svelte.
Oh, thank you.
And with that, thank you for listening to the halfway point of Calling All Crepes, a French eating podcast.
That's right. If you like thinner pancakes, this is the podcast for you. And thanks for sticking with us. And we hope you live to see the end of this year.
Yeah. Way to go, guys.
Would you agree?
Don't die.
Yeah, don't die.
Don't die.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.